Okay, hey YouTube. So I am making another vacuum video, and today what I'm going to be showing you is this late 1990s Hoover Bagless with what Hoover was calling the twin chamber system. Now this is a vacuum that came, they made it off of the bagged Soft Guard series. And instead of taking a Type Z filter bag, they just put in their twin chamber system. Now I have modified this to make it work slightly better, and all I mean by modify to make it work better is more like to make it the clean out easier. I took this panel, and where the bottom hook to hold the filter was, I took it off so that the filter could stay in place. You could clean off this mesh screen, you could dump out all your particles, and then you could take this outside and clean it off outside. And I've used this, as you can see, and it works quite a lot better. It's a lot easier to empty and keep it clean. Now, I was not aware of this, but as you can see, this filter looks fairly clean. This was the one that I got with it, and it was really dirty and bad. It was like packed full of dirt. I actually took this downstairs in my basement, and we have a little wash tub with a hose and stuff, and I just washed this out with hot water, bleach, and then I washed it off with Dawn, so it didn't smell like bleach, and then I rinsed it out really thoroughly so the filter material wouldn't be clogged. But it held up, and it works and looks just like a brand new filter. In fact, I've already ran this once, and then I just took it outside and blew it off with the air compressor, so I'm expecting that these filters will last up to like a month or so. Yeah, I'd say if you take them outside and blow them off with an air compressor every 1 or 2 uses, which I mean, that's not too bad at all. If you vacuum every other day, that would be 4 days until you'd have to blow it off, and you'd only have to do that, maybe 4 times, and then you can just wash it off. So, heck, it beats spending. I've seen these filters going for anywhere from $8 up to $40, so I figure if you can just wash them out, make them last longer, might as well just do that. So, the twin chamber system, there's a lot of people saying how messy it is to clean, and when this thing was attached like it was, I would absolutely agree with them. It was almost so bad that it made using this vacuum almost like I would have just completely stopped using this vacuum if I wouldn't have thought of just doing that down there, because every time you'd go to pull your filter out, as you can hear, it clicks down in, so when you pull it out, it does that really fast thing, which is enough to jar the dirt, because this just collects the fine dust. It's enough to jar the dust out, and then when you pick it up like this and just do like a little bump or anything like that, it just spills all the dust out everywhere, all over where you cleaned or wherever you're dumping it out. So that was actually just doing something like this so that the filter sticks in there. It makes it a lot easier and better to clean. And I've only used this a couple times within the past week or so. I actually got this vacuum about a month and a half ago for $40 at the local vacuum shop. And there was a couple problems with it, which it's kind of it was kind of silly almost, but this filter, as you can see, just kind of setting there, it's not the right filter. This one's too small. They made a couple variations of this bagless twin chamber system, so that is one of the smaller filters. So the filter didn't fit right, so it spewed dust down into this crevice, which this is where all the air goes after it's been filtered, and then it goes in here, and they have this whole thing's kind of open, and then it goes and ducts out to this allergen filter. But there were a couple problems with this seal right here. this is how it goes in properly. It was actually taken out and like flipped upside down and just stuck back there, like someone took it out to clean it and never stuck it in right again. There was that. There was the filter problem, and I don't think there was really anything else really wrong with it, but because the filter wasn't sealed right, this thing would just blow dust everywhere. Like, you just push it forward and everything that it would pick up would go straight through the HEPA filter and just blow everywhere. Plus it'd be coming out the back. So I fixed it, and I did clean it up, but it kind of got a little dusty and dirty again. Like I said, I've used this a couple times as just the main house vacuum. This could possibly turn into a daily driver, assuming that twin chamber filter isn't too much of a pain in the butt to clean out, because I really do like the performance of this vacuum. It has very good bristles for agitation. I like that you can adjust the height of it. I really like that wide nozzle, because all the vacuums I have are just the standard nozzle, but when I go down to sweep my living room, it is like, it's a giant room, so it just takes forever. Okay. So, we'll stick this thing back in. Now what you have to do, you have to make sure this bottom is in properly, and then at the same time you have to make sure that this is pushed back, and then you can seal it down. And this is your catch for your dirt bin. It's just a it's actually spring loaded so that it'll stay up, and then it just, you push it down and it catches over this little lip right here. But you have to make sure that this thing is installed right, or else it'll leak because of how it's designed. But going around the vacuum, this was one of their I believe this may have even been the original model of Hoover Bagless vacuums. This was obviously pre-Hoover cyclonic, and like I said, this was a late 90s model. So it's a dirty air filter, or dirty air vacuum. It has onboard tools, and what I really like about it is it's not like a Hoover Preferred type or like a Hoover Elite where you had that little, you had like a hose, but then down at the bottom you had to open up a flap and plug in your it was like a little thing and you just stuck it in. This is always attached, because this right here, when you take off this cover, it's actually the side panel to where the dirt comes in for the dirty air motor. So this is always attached. I found that sometimes this hose right here gets a little stuck, so if you just take it and kind of, you have to twist it, and once you get it to twist, then it starts to loosen up a little bit. But for the fact that it has to seal this up so you get maximum suction to your bottom, it definitely would do that. But I'm not even going to bother trying to take that out, because that thing's always too hard. You get a really long, nice cord on this thing. As you can see, I didn't put it away right. And you get this just a plastic swivel piece. Now, originally this vacuum would have came with 3 attachments. It has the duster brush, the upholstery tool, and then it would have came with an extra extension one that would have sat in here, and then there was like this big long crevice tool that like sat in the wand, but the wand and the crevice tool are both missing. Around to the other side you have your filter, which is like the type of filters they used on their Hoover Turbo Powers, the Hoover Breathe Easy got this kind of filter. They say this one's washable, but I think this one's got washed a couple too many times and it's starting to break down. So all I've really done is blown it off with an air compressor, and that's about all the more I think I'll be doing with it. But since I've washed out that filter, the overall filtration of the vacuum has seemed to improve quite a lot. I've already made a video like this once, and at the end I said, oh, the filtration's crap on this, don't use it. But after washing out that HEPA filter, I think if you maintain it, it should work nice. I believe that it has a caddy vac style on-off switch in a very bright red color. And that's about it. Down at the bottom here, you have your height adjustments, which goes from this bare floor low, then it has the 1, 2, 3, 4 up to carpet high. But I'll show you, once you push it and it does this noise, that actually just locked into a plastic tab, which if you slide this all the way over, you'll see it says cleaning tools. When you do that, this moves a plastic flap in front of the suction port for the cleaner head, so that when you have your cleaning tools, being that it's all on the same airflow path, you close it off up here with that plastic flap, and then all the suction's diverted to this hose. And I will say, for a direct air vacuum, this vacuum does have very, very nice suction. I was actually kind of surprised getting the amount of suction and airflow out of the hose as I did, being that it is the dirty air design. So I'm going to plug it in. It only took me 11 minutes to do that. I really hope you're still watching. So we'll plug it in, put it on low, and I'm just going to vacuum up the carpeting. Now I should probably open up the windows to get a little more light. My room is a little dark because of that. A little bit better. So now this has, like most vacuums, the first step, and then it has it so you can pick it up for rugs and stuff, and then it has the second one. And for a bagless vacuum, being that it's not the cyclonic with the big round bin, you can really get under stuff a lot better than you can with cyclonic vacuums, which I will say, hopefully, knock on wood, in a couple days, a little over a week, will be my birthday. So hopefully as a present I'll get either a vacuum from the vacuum shop I got this at, and I'm going to get a bagless vacuum. I really like the bagged vacuums, but the convenience of just throwing out the dirt's a lot nicer. But hopefully I'll get a cyclonic vacuum and be able to compare them all. But now I'm just going to vacuum this carpet. You'll see down over in this chamber, this is where the large dirt collects. Over here, this is where the fine stuff's filtered out. And hopefully I have the bagless cassette in right, so no dust will blow out. So let's turn this bad boy on, and I'll sweep and show you what I get. Okay, so this vacuum cleaner has picked up a lot of, I believe it's more like dust, mostly dust, but we'll just take this off and I'll show you. Now, one thing that I've noticed with mine, every time I open it up, it always has a piece of dirt stuck right here, and then right here, that's the same area, there's always dust stuck in there. So, but this vacuum, you just slide out this filter And it looks like, being that I didn't suck up too much dust, it's relatively clean. I'll just kind of tap it out. And then over here in the collection bin, you can see that there's sand and powdery dirt. So I'll actually grab it like it shows you to, and you dump it out forward. Now, it looks like this vacuum has gotten up some pet hair, some dust and dirt, and in addition to that, if you can see right here, try to get that focus, because there's actually, this vacuum has gotten up sand, very hard to get out, sand and stuff that most bagged vacuums today don't get out. Right here, I pretty much think this is the same story. It's the dog hair on top, then there's all this sand that collects at the bottom. So, last time I did this, it was not a fun experience. But as you can see, this vacuum, the filter went from white to, it's not showing up too well, but this is almost, it's gotten dirty. You can see it's kind of gotten brown. So it gets a lot of dirt out, but it's got all this extra. This is just the dust that the vacuum gets up. So for a vacuum cleaner all around, it does do very well. Now, how I reassemble this vacuum, now that that's not how it used to be, I just take this and shove it down as far as the filter will go. And as you can see, by doing that, it gets a very nice seal at the base. Then you can just pop this mesh filter over top. Oh, that's not in place right. Now this thing's kind of finicky because you have to get those two little tiny pieces of plastic to correspond with two openings, and it's like you have to get it just so, otherwise it's not gonna work. So there we go. Once you do it right, it just kind of drops down and then clicks. So that's that. And I will say, I just swept the other day, so to get all this stuff out of the carpet, I'm not used to the bagless vacuum, because the last one we had, it was actually a Dyson. It was a DC-14, and at the time I did not have any carpeting in my room. We had like this shag kind of carpet down in the family room, and it always got filled up with fluff and stuff, but never have I seen a bagless vacuum get that much grit out of carpeting. So it's pretty impressive, actually. So now I'm just going to take this downstairs when I will reappear down in my family room, and I will go through some more features and probably do a little bit of vacuuming down there, because there's always a lot more pet hair and dirt that I get up down there because there's a lot more carpeting. So, by the magic of a camera pause, I'm now instantly downstairs. And let me turn down the TV. So as you can see, it's pretty nice carpet. It's not shag like in the typical sense, but it is the longer strand carpet. I use vacuum setting 3 on this sometimes. I should probably just use 4, because this carpet is like it's hard to push the vacuum when it's on anything else. So this thing's easy to slide down here. It's easy to slide because this doesn't actually activate, like put the brush roll down, until the vacuum cleaner's reclined. So we're on high pile carpet setting. I'm just going to shut the doors because I think My dad might be going to bed. Of course, it's on the other side of the house, but still, nonetheless. And we are probably going to be taking up this carpeting fairly soon, so in videos to come, possibly next year, definitely by next summer, this carpet will no longer be here, and this room will no longer look like it does now. But I've tapped out the filters and everything back in my bedroom, so let's see what I can get down here. Okay, so just looking in this, looking in the container, we have a big ball of what appears to be dog hair. What else is in here? We have some carpet fiber from tearing up the carpet, but yes, this looks mostly like dog fur. So I will take it outside and show you how this modified vacuum empties, because it empties a lot nicer than factory. So we'll just throw open the old garbage can, The lid on this one, I'm not sure if it was supposed to lock. I know some of the newer ones do, mine doesn't. So now, just take off this filter. And you see all that dirt in the bottom? That's what the Hoover's already picked up. So, brush that one clean. Oh, our neighbor's little dog's coming over. Hi, Brandy dog. So now you just take this and dump it forward. Dump out as much as you can. And then you just take this filter, remove it by just taking it out. Then you can tap it off. Then you have this. So I'm going to see if the air compressor still has air in it, because if it does, I'll show you how nice these filters actually blow off, and it does not have air in it. But, oh well. Just kind of smack it against the ground, get as much as you can off of it. And so that's going to be it. Thanks for watching my video of the Hoover Bagless vacuum cleaner, and watch my other videos, because I have a few that I have uploaded very recently as the time of upload of this video. There's a dry shampoo video. There is a a Westinghouse Unplugged video. And I'm sure there will be a lot more to come in the coming days. So, thanks for watching. Have a good day.